Hey everybody, Brian Von Vier here, back at it again with another set of D&D stories. Today we have a really good one. What is your favorite joke character concept that you have yet to use in a campaign? Once upon a time, in a land in need, the shrine unto a saint was taken by dark forces. Abominable creatures ran amok and desecrated that holy place. The divine magic protecting the land was lost, and the people were in more dire need than ever. They needed heroes, but there were no heroes here. There were only mercenaries. The most ruthless, money-hungry warrior in the province led his men to the shrine. Survival was at stake, and it would be a messy affair, but he was used to doing terrible necessities. His men were steely and loyal, and his canine was well trained. He knew they would retake the shrine, and they did. Through bitterness and bloodshed, he led the troop to victory. Cleansed of the baleful demons, the saint's spirit once again manifested their power. A holy voice offered reward for the most righteous amongst them. They would ascend to a higher calling than petty wealth and survival. A pearlescent orb descended from a heavenly light as the mercenary captain stared in awe. Had he proven himself? Had the courage he shown in facing the defilers won him the blessing of higher powers? He extended his hand to the orb as it descended to the most righteous among them. Lower, past the captain. The canine's eyes glowed with divine awakening as he shouted, "Whoa!" and chomped down on the orb. Meet Sir Frisbee of Labradoodle, the goodest of boys, celestial patron, warlock, and oath of devotion paladin. He has Pact of the Talisman, and that holy orb is now his favorite chew toy. It's a holy relic, but to Sir Frisbee, it's just a ball. If he really likes you, he may let you hold it. Just make sure you throw it for him once in a while. This little Dickens has lay on tongue to lick away wounds. Divine sense is his literal sense of smell for sniffing out strange creatures, and he can divine smite with his doggy bite. He uses Mage Hand to interact with things when necessary, can speak and cast spells, is a fully functional party member, but is otherwise just a doggo. His ambitions are guarding the party, acquiring bacon, and barking at mailmen. Some highlights from my build right now. Lawful good, naturally. Intelligence is his dump stat. Puppers are blissfully simple. Wisdom is high, simple, yes, but dogs are usually insightful and good judges of character. Charisma is high because who doesn't like dogs? Personality trait. Friends are good, protect friends. Bond. Friends are good, protect friends. Ideal. Friends are good, protect friends. Flaw. Though I was but a pup when the squirrel menace ran through my yard, I have never forgotten, nor have I forgiven. By the light of the moon by which I howl, I vow to not rest until the squirrel blight is eradicated from my realm. I think Sir Frisbee would be amazingly fun. I love the idea of the animal companion being a full party member, but there's no way a good dog would not be a paladin. From a holy relic covered in slobber, to assuming every mailman is a spy for the big bad evil guy, the shenanigans basically write themselves. Mine would probably have to be Joe Smith, human fighter. He was just a normal farmer until he had a midlife crisis and went adventuring. The thing is, he has 10s across the board for stats. Another contender would be Miss Jenkins, human monk. She was the head cook at her monastery, and at the age of 80, she left on a pilgrimage. Despite her old age, I'm planning on giving her a high dex so that this frail old lady can sprint around the battlefield hitting people with her walking cane's quarterstaff. I came up with a rogue warforged that needs alcohol to sustain himself instead of food, etc. His whole shtick is to break into old ruins and dungeons to acquire all kinds of long-matured alcohol, and when he doesn't drink for a while, he acts all drunk. So basically, the whole influence under alcohol thing is reversed for him. I was so freaking proud of myself, and I thought I was creative and shit until I realized I made Bender from Futurama. A tribe of goblins with near identical stats and names that was banished to another dimension by a wizard. Only one can exist on a plane at one time, and each time one dies in the main plane of the campaign, a portal opens and spits out the next one. They'd all be different classes and have their stats move around to accommodate the various classes, but not be too aware or bothered by what's happening. They'd just collect up the dead guy's stuff and keep trucking on with the story as if nothing changed. I have no name for him yet, but I wanted to play a Luchadin, an Oath of Glory paladin fighter and maybe a bit barbarian, specialized in grappling, punching, flexing, and cutting promos in front of the enemies and allies. Basically, a masked and not so racist Hulk Hogan.
Oh, brother, let me tell you, I will punch you through the 9 hells and back. Together with my lucha maniacs, we will fight for our lives, man. And if you will survive this and still are with Andre the Giant, I will pop you around just for a warm-up until the lucha mania destroys you.
Crash, the Kenku Artificer. Basically, Wile E. Coyote in D&D, using magical tinkering to put words on a small sign he carries instead of using the typical Kenku noise mimicry. His armor and tools would be cobbled together junk with a cast iron pot as a helmet. He would have a backpack that is a bag of holding. My favorite part is the using the bag of holding as a spell focus. It's on his back like a backpack, and whenever he casts a spell, he pulls a ripcord on it. Then something unfurls, like a rack with 3 fireworks for Scorching Ray, or a pair of large hands holding either a stick and a triangle, or a pair of cymbals for Thunderweave and Shatter, or hand props for holding an actual shield as the shield spell, or for the artillerist cannon, a big old Acme cannon, bird wings made of random junk, or a balloon with little fans to push yourself for the fly spell. Whenever a spell ends, the contraptions fall apart or explode harmlessly. He is young and short for a Kenku and adorably fluffy, but frighteningly intelligent. The Kenku ability to make copies of things lets him figure out any tech he happens to come across, but his low wisdom score usually means things tend to blow up in his face sometimes. I always wanted to make a Gunslinger Halfling who would talk with a thick southern accent, but never really got there to make it happen. His story would be that he's from a farm that got overrun by goblins and he wants to take it back. When he has it back, he'll remember the truth. He isn't the farmer who owns these lands. The real farmer died during the goblin raid. He's just the farmer's best worker who went into shock after the raid and took on the farmer's personality afterwards. And the farmer would definitely be mad because
some pest took his land.
Friar Cook, the Kuatoa Glory Paladin Chef, involves reflavoring the Triton race in order to avoid homebrew, but the idea is Friar Cook was a Kuatoa who lived with his tribe under a large city. While most of his kind were content worshipping a decaying rat god, he was always looking up, smelling all the delicious foods above and wondering how they tasted. Then one day he discovered a halfling cookbook that had been flushed down to their den, titled Lady Marmalade's 101 Halfling Recipes, and mistook it for a holy text of some kind. Now being a Kuatoa, that belief manifested, and the others weren't so keen on having a rival god sprouting up in the tribe. So he left his home to wander the land as a paladin to his new goddess, Marmadoulad, spreading food and flavor to those who need it, while smiting anyone who would let a good meal go to waste with a frying pan. Ooh. It's a fun idea I managed to play in a one-shot, but beyond that, I've yet to use him anywhere else. Of course, I would take the chef feat and reflavor some of his abilities as him sharing food with his friends. He's friendly, but not above fighting, especially when people question or make fun of his worship and chosen deity. My joke character is one I plan to play quite seriously. Her name is Blog, and she is a kobold barbarian with the inheritor background. Her clan found a strange magic item, and she was chosen to go forth into the world as a diplomat of her clan and figure out what it is. She has no idea what a diplomat does, so if I ever play her, charisma will be her dump stat. There's Toss and Poke, two bugbears in a trench coat. Toss is the chatty one who specializes in thrown weapons. Poke is the tough, dumb one who uses a pike. Splits McGee, the gray dwarf rune knight, who wants to get big enough to cut the world in half. And Scorpion, a Way of the Four Elements monk / Pact of the Fiend warlock. Yes, the Mortal Kombat character. I have two that come to mind. The first is an orange tabby tabaxi battlesmith artificer who has a very helpful disposition and strong sense of justice, who also has a 2-foot-tall bipedal steel defender construct who is a little bit of a cheeky smartass. He also has a penchant for creating seriously over-the-top ranged weapons. If you can't figure out this reference, fix yourself like right now. The second is Bubba Jenkins, the world's most reluctant paladin. He never really wanted to be a champion of a deity, due to some serious confidence issues and a bit of a codependency problem. Or an NPC, but...
Welcome to Blacksmith's Blacksmith. I'm Smith. How can I help you?
For a long time, I've wanted to create a new type of mage / healer, but I don't know what system would work best. My idea plays with multiverse theory by having the healer steal life from other versions of ourselves that live in different universes. The mage decides how much he's trying to heal for, then rolls for how many universes he's stealing from. The more universes, the greater the healing, and the lesser the damage to our other selves. However, there is a slight percentage chance that our universe will have life stolen instead of healing, because the other universes are probably fighting very similar battles as we are. This ability can also be used offensively and intentionally send enemy life to other universes. However, there is a slight percentage chance that this universe will be the one to receive the healing. However, I also laugh at the possibility of healing an enemy by him suddenly having 12 arms. A changeling rogue with glamored studded leather armor, because you can use a bonus action to make it look like any clothing. Editor's note: glamored studded leather armor is amazing and I fully approve of this character concept. I'm a DM, so I came up with a halfling barbarian. I basically did the opposite for every stat than you would normally do for a barbarian. She has 8 strength and 18 intelligence. I can't wait to play her. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye! P.S. I bet I'm not going to get in the video. Well, this narrator says you are, and apparently the scriptwriter said you are too. So welcome! How are you doing today? Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here, checking in after the vid as per usual. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and to ring that bell to get notified whenever we post a new video or go live. And please be sure to check out our subreddit, r/MrRipper, where you too can post stories for us to read here or live on a stream. And make sure to check out our sub-channel, Riptovia. Links will be in the description below. Using a help action, come say hi to me on Twitch and YouTube, Brian Von VA. All the love to all of you if you do. Now, with that said, I always try to end things on a positive. I just hope everybody's staying safe, being as happy as you possibly can. And even if you're not as happy as someone else might want you to be, let me just tell you right now, doing your best is all you can do. And sometimes your best isn't good enough for others, but it's good enough for you. So never stop doing your best, all right? I'm always going to be proud of you for it. And hey, if you want me to be even more proud, tell me something you did really good this week that you're feeling accomplished for, even if it's something small like getting out of bed without complaining or feeling upset. Please do, because I'm always happy to hear about it. All the love, everybody. We will see you next time. Bye for now.